Dan Schneider was once Nickelodeon's golden goose, creating some of the most iconic family-oriented sitcoms ever, but unfortunately, whether Nick knew it or not, Dan himself wasn't a very family-oriented person. After allegations ran rampant, Nickelodeon finally pulled the plug on Schneider, severing all ties with him. And then everyone and their mother was making YouTube videos about him. Today's analysis video isn't going to be yet another trendy Dan Schneider hate speech, and it's not going to be a video praising him for his creativity either. No. Instead, allow me to be the first person with enough gall to point out how so many YouTubers have taken advantage of these tragic stories of grooming, sexual immorality, and abuse, and used them as a way to make money and grow their YouTube channels. Denouncing the dishonorable deeds done by Dan Schneider is one thing, but deviously decorating your dashboard with low-hanging fruit is just dumb. Let's just get to the point. Pretentious theme song. Let me ask you a question. What does it mean to raise awareness? I'm sure many would say things like not being silent when injustice is being committed, making your voice be heard, and sharing information that may not be public knowledge, either because it's not being spoken about or people are actively trying to hide it. A lot of these YouTubers will claim that the reason they feel it's absolutely necessary to make a video about Dan Schneider is to raise awareness about everything bad that he's done, usually in the hopes that exposing this kind of behavior will prevent it from being repeated, which honestly is the best reason to be talking about this. That being said, I do think it's odd that some YouTubers had nothing to say when the allegations first came out, but the moment Dan Schneider's name started trending on YouTube, and the few videos about him had anywhere between 100,000 and 1 million views, suddenly everyone wants to talk about him. Do you honestly believe that all these people talking about Dan Schneider are only trying to raise awareness? If you genuinely do, then let me ask you this. Is it okay for them to be making money off of it? I can almost guarantee that every YouTuber that meets the monetization requirements definitely monetized their Dan Schneider video, in the hopes that their video would get a lot of easy views. After all, his name is trending. Is that okay? Is it okay for YouTubers that have never met the people they're talking about and have no intentions of actually fixing the issue to be making money talking about what may have been the most tragic event of someone's life? Is that the world we live in now? Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, or maybe I'm just an idiot, but forgive me for thinking that it's not right for anyone to be making a profit off of someone else's pain, especially if no attempt is made to reach out to those people that actually experienced it. Okay, look, there are people on this platform that aren't just trying to cash in on the latest buzz. Case in point, they usually just make 1 or 2 videos about Dan Schneider, and some even bring a very unique perspective when they talk about him. But there are some YouTubers that don't really seem to treat the subject with any amount of respect, making it quite obvious that they're only doing this because they know it's gonna get views. Which raises the question, are they only making these videos because their other videos aren't doing so well? It's always good to raise awareness about injustices going on around us, but if your intentions are as benevolent as you like to make them sound, then why are you trying to make a profit off of it? But in all honesty, these YouTubers aren't the only ones to blame. They're smart enough to know that a lot of their viewers aren't smart enough to know how manipulative they're being. All it really takes is an obnoxious thumbnail with Dan Schneider in it and boom, you got 100,000 views. So who's worse, the people making the poison or the people taking the poison? I'm not going to be a hypocrite and monetize this video, so if you want to support the channel, the links are all down below. Until then, I'll leave you with this.
I don't see why we can't just pretend to be pirates.
I'll play pirates with you.
No, I don't like how you play pirates.